The book, The Modern Mission of Srila Prabhupada. We'll start our session, online reading session, by praying to our Acharyas and spiritual master. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Nanchana Chakshudamanidanim Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishna Srimade Bhakti Vikasa Swami Namaha Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishna Srimade Vedanta Namaste Saraswati Deve Gurvani Dharini Nirvishi Shishmani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Mukam Karati Vachalam Mingadiketam Pranadam Munde Shri Guru Nirdaranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Vagisha Yasya Padani Lakshmi Yasya Javakshari Yasya Aste Radhavati Yasya Devi Parabhakti Yatha Devi Vitata Yasya Ke Kamta Hiyata Prakash Guru Guru Chandra Krishna Krishna Yanta Pravishan Machanam Sattam Sanjivani Nam Chahata Chana Shri Prabhavam Pranam Namaste Guru Shaya Tubhyam Guru Haliganya Chitto Chinto Parente Sara Kupa Provajan Skata Bhakti Hare Krishna. So we are reading from the chapter 9, pushing through obstacles. Unstoppable desires, multiple obstacles, heart attacks, seasickness, poverty, lack of support, and being alone in a foreign land, Srila Prabhupada pushed on only by continuing to surmount obstacles as he able to establish the international Krishna consciousness movement. In the face of so many obstacles, we have come to this standard. Everywhere we are meeting obstacles. Yet by his unrelenting desire to please Krishna, Srila Prabhupada prevailed against all odds. Shyamasundara Das reported from India in 1972. In less than 1 month, Srila Prabhupada has done the impossible. He has laid the cornerstones for his main 3 temples in India despite all odds. Naxalite bandits, floods, cold, heat, lack of money, envious opponents, unsupportive godbrothers, caste Goswamis, a communist leaning central government under martial law with strict rationing of construction materials, our shaky legal standing, and a handful of young but worn out devotees. The lands we have acquired are so old, with so many contending proprietors and so large and in such vital locations. To even think of owning these properties is almost surreal. We are recent arrivals on Indian soil with very little organization and social standing. Yet, despite these obstacles, Srila Prabhupada's unrelenting desire to please Krishna has somehow prevailed. He did it. Seeing all this from the inside, typing his letters, making phone calls, huddled with him in late night strategy sessions, I am in awe. This is Superman, beyond anything yet, and he is just getting started. Srila Prabhupada rallied his followers to be similarly undaunted in facing inevitable obstacles. This nonsense is going on everywhere. It is very difficult position. So many rascals, and we have to push our movement through so many obstacles. But still we are going on. That is Krishna's mercy. Otherwise, we are simply meeting with obstacles. What can be done? We have to go forward. I met so many with the same idea, impersonalism, bogus thought. We have to deal with rascal. It is very dangerous position, very dangerous. Sorry. These rascals, no clear understanding. They are swamis, yogis, and avatars. It is very dangerous position, very dangerous. We have to deal with all rascals and fools. Still, we cannot change our position. We must go with our conviction, and that is real reality. Try to spread this Krishna consciousness movement. This is your sadhana, execution of authority, penance. Because you have to meet so many opposing elements. You have to fight with them. That is tapasya. With this dangerous condition of the human society, we have to push on Krishna consciousness. How difficult it is, just imagine. But still, it is going on. But so many obstacles, so many obstacles. But we do not care for these obstacles. We must push on. That is our determination. Therefore, it is called Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 3, Text 10. Tivrena. There may be so many obstacles, but you must push on your movement. Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. That is our duty. By remaining pure and sticking to the principles, devotees can overcome obstacles placed by enemies. As Srila Prabhupada assured one disciple, you mentioned that your pathway has become filled with stumbling blocks, but there are no stumbling blocks. I can kick out all those stumbling blocks immediately, providing you accept my guidance. Provided you accept my guidance. With one stroke of my kick, I can kick out all stumbling blocks. Hare Krishna, Yashovardhan.
Hare Krishna Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavad Pranam. You're coming for the first time, I suppose?
No, Prabhuji, earlier also, I also joined the class, but this is my second time.
Okay. So, can you read?
Yes,
You're
Prabhuji.
from which part of India?
I'm from Delhi, Prabhuji.
Oh, Delhi. From where? East of Kailash, Punjabi Bagh?
Rohini and Punjabi Bagh, Prabhuji.
Oh, Rohini, Rohini. Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
Prabhuji.
Prabhu, you can read. Do you have this book, Mood and Mission of Srila Prabhupada by Maharaj?
No, Prabhuji. No, no, Prabhuji.
You would like to order?
Yes, I would like to order, Prabhuji.
I'll send you the link. Huh? You can
Yes,
on
yes.
the
Yes,
this
share
one.
the link.
You can on the
I will order.
in the chat
Yes,
code. I will put the link. You can order it. Okay.
okay, Prabhuji. Ji, Prabhuji.
For the time being, you can start reading, and one
Okay,
section
Prabhuji.
after another. Okay. Yes, Prabhu. Please
Okay.
start.
Hare
Chapter 10, Struggling for Krishna.
for Krishna. In Srila Prabhupada's understanding of Krishna consciousness, preaching means struggling to preserve, to
Persever.
persevere against all obstacles and push forward the Krishna consciousness movement that will please Krishna. This movement should be pushed on, just like great souls always think of the poor souls. Similarly, you should also feel if we struggle hard to push on this movement, then even if we don't get any followers, Krishna will be satisfied, and our business is to satisfy Krishna. This is bhakti. Struggling is to understand as the mercy of Krishna, and when he is satisfied by your giving energy in this way, just to please him despite all conditions of difficulty, then you need not worry for money. There will be sufficient and more. He acknowledged that it is a heavy duty to fight with the demons. Hiranyakashipu civilization and we are presenting Prahlad's civilization. So this is a struggle, but ultimately Prahlad will come out triumphant and Hiranyakashipu will be killed. 11. Don't expect a favorable situation. Any good thing you do, Srila Prabhupada's warned, there will be so many impediments, but we have to execute our mission. A preacher has to do something against all odds. That is preaching. You cannot expect a favorable position. You cannot expect that wherever you go, you will find a favorable situation to talk. But favorable situation, that is your duty. Whenever I was in India, I never expected any favorable situation. I wrote that poetry in my diary. Accept this.
Prabhuji, your internet is little bit disconnecting in the middle here and there. So, okay, yes, Prabhu.
By Krishna's grace, gradually it will become a favorable situation, but don't expect any favorable situation. You have to handle an unfavorable situation and make a favorable situation to preach. That is preaching. Nityanand Prabhu went to preach to Jagai Madhai. There was no favorable situation. They were drunkards. They injured the body of Nityanand Prabhu. So this is preaching with only unfavorable situation. You cannot expect a favorable situation and still you have to preach. That is preaching. They will speak like madmen. So many things. They are mad. After all, Nunam Pramatma Kurute Vikarma. Srimad Bhagavatam
Nunam Pramatta,
5.5. Nunam
Pramatta,
Pramatta
Pramatta.
Pramatta Kurute Vikarma. Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.4. They have no sense. All materialistic persons are madmen. Still, by the order of the superior, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have to do this preaching work. Actually, the American boys are fighting against so many unfavorable situations. They are sometimes beaten in the airport. Do you know that? Still, they are preaching. That is preaching. The situation is unfavorable, so let me give it up. That is not preaching. Even in a unfavorable situation, still have I have to do. That depends on your brain how to tackle it. You cannot expect a favorable situation. Demonic retaliation is a good sign, showing that the movement is getting stronger. As Srila Prabhupada warned, as the movement gets stronger, the demons will retaliate. They will be more threatened. Harassment is inevitable, but we shall go on with our business. Now, everywhere there will be a harassment for us because this is the only movement preaching about God's glories. This is the only movement in the whole world, so the harassment will increase. The more we sell our books, the more the harassment will be there. But sale is increasing. Religious persecution, we don't mind that. We shall go on with our business. Indeed, persecution can be precursor of progress. If Christ was not crucified, then his cult would not have spread so much all over the world because he was persecuted. His cult became so spread. 12th, Krishna anxiety. By exacting challenges upon them, Srila Prabhupada plunged his disciples into transcendental anxiety and practically forced them to surrender to Krishna. Such anxiety is an inevitable when serving Krishna in this material world. In our Krishna moment, consciousness moment, all the activities are not material, they are all spiritual. But Because it is being enacted in the material world, we have also so much anxiety. Although that anxiety is also bhakti, that is not material. When we are anxious how to protect a property, how to push on this movement, how people will take it, what line of action we shall take. This is also anxiety, but that anxiety is for Krishna. Therefore, it is bhakti. Krishna anxiety, particularly in the matter of delivering conditioned souls, is the highest stage of perfection. How to deliver them? This is Krishna anxiety. This kind of anxiety is welcome. Krishna anxiety itself is first class devotional service. If one becomes anxious like that, then he is perfect. Janma koti sukh tar na labhyate. Chaitanya Charitamrita 2.8.70. After many millions of lives of pious activities, one can get such anxiety. This is not so easy to become anxious for Krishna. Don't think it is like ordinary anxiety. If one becomes full of anxiety for Krishna, that is highest stage of perfection. Krishna anxiety in book distribution. Selling books anxiety is Krishna anxiety. So, if you become very anxious how to sell more books, that is Krishna anxiety. In deity worship, if you become anxious how to worship the deity, how to dress Krishna nicely, that will develop your anxiety for Krishna. Therefore, deity worship is essential. Exactly in time to get up to offer Mangalarti, to dress this anxiety is the beginning of Krishna anxiety. Then, when you become perfect, you will always be anxious for Krishna, and that is perfectional stage. Therefore, by the injection of the Shastra regulative, it is a way of creating that anxiety. So we must follow. Then we will become to the real anxiety. Srila Prabhupada revealed his own loving anxiety for this movement. Although the Krishna consciousness movement and Krishna are not different, and no asuras can check it. We are afraid that at any moment the asuras can stop this movement in any part of the world. Patita Pavan Das recalls Srila Prabhupada saying, I want you to be in so much anxiety, so anxious, in so much depression that when you call out to Krishna, it is from the core of your heart. Srila Prabhupada pushed to the brink those disciples whom he especially favored due to their surrendered service attitude.
Sorry, I just click many times and it just, yes.
And then he pushed them further still, being confident that they could take it. I am putting more and more burden upon you, but you are so tolerant that you have no hesitation to accept my demands, even although sometimes they are unreasonable. Just before he departed this world, Srila Prabhupada seemingly willingly plunged his disciples into intense anxiety by asking them to take him by bullock cart on parikrama around Govardhan Hill, even though, as he himself acknowledged, it could be fatal for him due to his depleted health. His disciples, present in Vrindavana at the time, were divided. Some were vehemently opposed to taking Srila Prabhupada in that situation, while others felt obliged to obey his order. Eventually,
Condition,
seeing
condition. Hare Krishna. Some were
Hare
vehemently
Krishna,
opposed to taking Srila Prabhupada in that condition.
in that condition, while others felt obliged to obey this order, eventually seeing the against party in such anxiety, Srila Prabhupada agreed not to go. To Tejas Das, saging under the pressure piled on him, Srila Prabhupada reassuringly wrote, I am very disturbed to hear from you that you have become disturbed in your mind. Do not be disturbed. There is no cause for anxiety. You are doing your best to serve Krishna. This is much appreciated. So do not lose enthusiasm out of frustration. That will spoil everything. Krishna consciousness means we should always be satisfied and happy, not that we must work something impossible, becoming overburdened, and then because we are unhappy by so much trouble, we lose enthusiasm altogether and give up all hope. No, if too much endeavor is there, there is to be avoided. By all
That is
means,
to
we
be
must
Hare Krishna. No, no, if you too much endeavor is there, that is to be avoided, not there.
there that is to be
Avoid.
avoided. By all means, we must preserve our spiritual status. That is the point. Not that we are mad after big buildings, many devotees, life members, this, that. No, these are only ways to engage the devotees so that they may apply the principles of devotional living to some kind of work for practical realization of these principles. It is not the result of the work we want. If we sincerely preach to only one person daily, that is sufficient. Never mind big programs. So my request to you is do not be bothered by these things. And I have instructed Tamal Krishna and Shyam Sundara to send you men. So they will do it. Rest assured. Krishna does not like to see his sincere devotees suffer or become frustrated or depressed. He will not stand idly by in any such case. So do not fear on that account. Krishna has got some plan for you. Always think in that way, and very soon he will provide everything to your heart's desire. Having thus assuaged Tejas Prabhu, Srila Prabhupada again wrote him just 15 days later, heaping on him even more service. I think that they have sent you books, so now distribute them so profusely as possible and also make life members as many as possible. I am informed there are many so called hippies staying in Delhi, so try to recruit some of these men or other local men to assist you. Take this opportunity of being situated at Delhi to make every parliamentary member our life member also. You can get the list of
Wow.
addresses You can get the list of addresses and systematically approach each and every member of parliament. So many big lawyers, doctors, government ministers, and professional men are there in Delhi, more than any other city in India. They are all intelligent men and can be easily recruited for life membership by simply showing the books and requesting them to kindly help us in this way. So make many life members among the class of men. That will be your great contribution.
Ah,
Such pressure and anxiety is highly conducive for devotional advancement. When Tamal Krishna Goswami was GBC for India, all the Indian management was on him, and at the same time, he had to personally manage ISKCON Bombay. Prabhupada also told him that the GBC should personally collect funds. In great anxiety, Tamal Krishna Goswami went before Srila Prabhupada and began to cry. Prabhupada, it is hopeless, he said. How can I do it? It's impossible. How can I do so many things? Prabhupada sat back and said, this is very good. You should pray to be entangled in Krishna's service so that there is not a free movement for Maya to attack. Still struggling, Tamal Krishna Goswami again confided in Srila Prabhupada. I am so disturbed by these dealings that I can't chant my rounds properly. That is natural, Prabhupada replied. Sometimes, when I am disturbed, I also, but I can see that I am making spiritual advancement. Even so, Tamal Krishna admitted, I used to think how to avoid difficult situations, but now I think I should not run away from them.
Yes.
Yes, said Prabhupada, we should welcome these. They give us an opportunity to advance more.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you. I will request some of the
Hare
devotees
Krishna.
to read. आप बहुत अच्छा पढ़े हैं. You have read very nicely. Thank you very much. You should attend every day, Prabhuji. If
Yes,
possible,
Prabhuji, I
if
will
you
try,
have time.
Prabhuji.
Yeah, yeah. If you have time, please attend every day. Okay. And I will
Yes,
put
Prabhuji.
the link in the chat board. You can order the books. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Sham Swarup Prabhu, you can continue.
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. 13. Risk taking. Out of kindness, devotees undertake all kinds of risks to bring Krishna consciousness to others. Men who are ignorant cannot appreciate activities in Krishna consciousness, and, and therefore Lord Krishna advises us not to disturb them and simply waste valuable time. But the devotees of the Lord are more kind than the Lord because they understand the purpose of the Lord. Consequently, they undertake all kinds of risks, even to the point of approaching ignorant men to try to engage them in the acts of Krishna consciousness, which are absolutely necessary for the human being. Indeed, there are many examples in history of devotees of the Lord who risked their lives for the spreading of God consciousness. Lord Jesus Christ, Thakura Haridasa, Prahlada Maharaja. Why such risk? Because they want to spread Krishna consciousness and it is difficult. The saints
Okay,
and
1 second.
yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, 1 second. I need to tell one thing. Sometimes in Prabhupada's books, Prabhupada mentions Jesus Christ, Muhammad, and chanting Allah's name, chanting Christ's name. We should not become averse of this. Prabhupada is here. We should understand the principle behind Prabhupada making point. Not that we should carried away by the name God of Prabhupada is here promoting Christianity or Islam in his books. Many devotees or many outsiders nowadays, because there is so much of polarization going on in the social media and through politics, through like mullahs, big Hindutvaadis and all. So they think that why Prabhupada is again and again writing sometimes. Why, when he is writing God consciousness, he could write Prahlad Maharaj, he could write Parikshit Maharaj, he could give many other examples. Why he is giving? So we should understand the principle behind it, not just go by the name. If Prabhupada would have given you chant the Christ name instead of Hare Krishna mantra, then we can oppose. But Prabhupada doesn't say all those things. Prabhupada, in order to prove one point, he gives historical whatever has happened. Just like Jesus Christ was crucified. Whatever may be the details, whatever it is, another thing. But and okay, some may say that some Hindus will say that what is that nonsense God consciousness Jesus Christ is doing? Christianity is not at all a religion, not at all a dharma. What God consciousness? So here the main important point is that some other God, whatever it is, even Africa also, even the Aborigines, they worship the water, mountains, clouds, sky, and they do something. At least they have something to sacrifice. So here, in that way, Prabhupada is giving the general connotation of God consciousness. We should not take it in a negative way and then offend Srila Prabhupada. We have to be careful. Some devotees become devotees may not be, but many outsiders. There is a book, Basics of Bhagavad Gita from BBT. People, many people have done videos on YouTube stating that you see ISKCON is promoting Islam. Islam is just like this Rampal. books. They have about Christianity, about Islam. They are promoting. We don't promote anything like that. We are only Krishna conscious everywhere. Every second line Prabhupada writes about Krishna consciousness in his book. So that is just to give the principle, to explain the principle. We should understand that. Okay. If anything is there, you can ask me like that. Okay, Hare Krishna. You can continue.
Okay. The saints and sages take all risks to propagate the message of Godhead. Lord Jesus Christ, Thakura Haridasa, Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and many such sages risked their life to propagate the message of Godhead. Self realized saints and sages take such risks for the spiritual enlightenment of the people in general. They do not take vows of silence meant to win cheap glory from the ignorant mass of people. God is satisfied only when his devotees take all sorts of risks to propagate his glories. Such devotees are unafraid of the difficult journey to cross the ocean of nescience. They are always anxious for the welfare of the fallen souls who are attached to the false enjoyment of materialistic life, in which they forget their eternal relation with God. As a devotee on the superlative level, Srila Prabhupada took all kinds of risks for Krishna. Indeed, the worldwide Hare Krishna movement only happened because he took the risk to, to leave Vrindavana and move to America. Sumati Murarji had warned him. He said that he would like to go to America. I was surprised. I said, Swamiji, don't go there. You are too old and it will be too cold for you. Are you crazy? Old man, you are going to die. Who will look after you? What will you do there? Still, he insisted, so I said, all right. Her fears were almost realized, for Srila Prabhupada suffered 2 heart attacks at sea. Therefore, he wrote in his diary, Today the ship.
Thereafter,
Thereafter, he wrote in his diary, Today the ship is flying very smoothly. I feel today better, but I am feeling separation from Sri Vrindavana and my Lord Sri Govinda, Gopinatha, Radha Dhamodara. The only solace is Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, in which I am tasting the nectar of Lord Chaitanya's Leela. I have left Bharata Bhumi just to execute the order of Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati in pursuance of Lord Chaitanya's order. I have no qualification but have taken up the risk just to carry out the order of His divine grace. I depend fully on their mercy so far away from Vrindavana. Taking risks for Krishna was a defining principle of Srila Prabhupada's life. I always take risks for Krishna. I came here in your country risking my life. And still, although I am physically unfit, I am trying to execute the orders of my Guru Maharaj as far as possible. So, to take risks for Krishna is very good. You know the history of my starting the society in 1966. It was all risky and I was alone. But I took it depending on Krishna. As Gargamuni Dasa observed, Prabhupada was always a risk taker. ISKCON Press was printing 500 BTGs. Prabhupada said, let us increase to 20,000 copies. That was a big risk
oh,
because we weren't experienced in distributing so many copies. There were only a few temples in 1968 or 1969. That was a very big financial risk for Prabhupada to take to print 20,000 copies of Back to Godhead. A risk can be like a gamble, but Srila Prabhupada's risks were calculated, not foolhardy, and by the grace of Krishna, despite the ups and downs of ISKCON's beginning years, the overall result was achieved. Krishna consciousness was spread and established around the world. Even to get the movement going necessitated the grave risk of initiating many persons who were not properly qualified. Without increasing the number of disciples, there is no propagation of the cult of Krishna consciousness. Therefore, sometimes, even at a risk, a sannyasi in the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu may accept even a person who is not thoroughly fit to become a disciple. Understanding that preaching work is always risky, Srila Prabhupada enjoined his disciples to face all risks, to be fearless fearless devotees of God who always speak scientifically about the existence of God even at the risk of death. These rascals will be angry, will sometimes do harm to you, and still you have to do it. That is preaching. You have to prepare like that. At all risk, you have to preach. There are many examples in history. Preaching work is not easy going. There are so many difficulties. All the big preachers, Sri Ramanujacharya was attempted to be killed. Why Ramanujacharya? My Guru Maharaja was attempted to be killed. 25,000 rupees were raised for bribing the police officer. He told me personally, the Navadvipa Goshais wanted to kill him. A classic case is that of Nityananda Prabhu. This is preacher. He is thinking of the credit of the master, not for himself. He risked his life, and the Jagai Madhai brothers hurt him on the head by throwing a stone. Blood came out, but still Nityananda said, "All right, it is all right. You have hurt me. Blood is oozing out. That doesn't matter. You chant Hare Krishna." That is preaching. Not that I remain in safety and chant Hare Krishna. No. We have to go out, meet the Jagai Madhais. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. Because the world is full of Jagai Madhais. By pushing his disciples to do big things in the war against the illusory energy, Srila Prabhupada willfully exposed himself and his disciples to inevitable danger, which struck a chord with many of his early followers. Shyamasundara Dasa recalls, most of us in Haight Ashbury in 1967 were there at great risk, giving up the comforts of homes, educations, careers, and society to become outcasts searching for meaning. Many of us had already, at a young age, traveled widely, taken great risks with drugs and the law, and carved out an independent lifestyle. So we immediately connected with the Swami's courage vibe. We dug his message that to to get Krishna, you must take risks. You can say that we were all on a great adventure with the Swami. It was the most exhilarating adventure of our lives. Because Srila Prabhupada was daring, naturally, his disciples also learned to be very daring, very adventurous in their dealings. Everything is possible. Let's give it a try. Prabhupada was very daring. He sometimes would say, Krishna consciousness is a great adventure. When sending devotees to communist Poland, Srila Prabhupada told them that Krishna is so pleased when devotees take a risk for him, that it is the most pleasing thing they could do. Although we want to take risks to push on this movement, Srila Prabhupada warned. Srila Prabhupada warned against recklessness. Discretion is the better part of valor, and one must learn how to discriminate between actions which may be pleasing to the Lord and those which may not be pleasing to the Lord. He encouraged risk taking for Krishna, but prudence also. Take the risk for Krishna, but do everything very diligently. Of course, we must take risks for Krishna, but not to the extent it may hamper our Krishna consciousness temperament. We can take a risk as long as it can be managed easily. I am very happy that you are taking a chance for Krishna. Do everything, do everything very carefully and sincerely. Krishna will help you. Too much risk unnecessarily is not good. Boldness is good, but unnecessary boldness is not good. And in certain circumstances, Srila Prabhupada instructed to not take risks. Don't take the risk of starting big temples. As soon as the energy is gone, as soon as the energy is gone, there will be trouble. On the whole, we should not take any risk. That is not good. Should I continue, Prabhu?
Continue, bro.
Okay.
One second.
Ah,
Yes, there is Jagannath Chandra Prabhu. Okay. Okay,
okay.
Prabhu, thank you. Okay, Jagannath Chandra Prabhu, are you there? Maybe he's in the office. Jagannath Chandra Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Okay. 14. Struggles will be recognized. While expecting from his disciples what in today's world would generally be considered a high standard of abnegation, and while pushing them to sacrifice all personal interest in the fire of Sankirtan, Srila Prabhupada assured them of Krishna's reward. Their preaching efforts would fructify and Krishna would recognize them. It is our duty on behalf of Krishna to push on this movement. So we are doing and we are getting response. It is not without response. It will increase. That is really following Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Not to imitate Haridas Thakur. That is not possible. Even if you do that very nicely, it is for your safety. Those who face danger from others, benefit are very quickly recognized by Krishna. Just like fighting soldiers face danger for the country, they are recognized. Similarly, those who are preachers on behalf of Krishna, are preaching to people to take to Krishna consciousness, they are great soldiers. So continue this process, and that is a very easy way to be recognized by Krishna. Because he says, Nachatasman Manusheshu Kashin Me Prekaritamaha. Bhagavad Gita 18, chapter 69th verse. Who is preaching this Krishna consciousness? So let us decide, dedicate this life for Krishna consciousness all over the world. Krishna does not like to see his men suffer or become frustrated and depressed on his behalf. No. We remain always faithful to him, working very hard despite all difficulties. Very quickly, you will meet Krishna face to face, and you know it is certain. You know it for certain. The ultimate sacrifice would be to die by preaching, a boon that Srila Prabhupada himself prayed for. Never mind if we die by preaching, still it is it will be very glorious. It will be glorious. This preaching work is a great fight, struggle. So you are all soldiers. Even if you lay down your life by fighting, you are recognized by Krishna. This preaching work is great fight, struggling. You're all soldiers. Even if you lay down your life by fighting, you're recognized by Krishna. I am praying to Krishna to make me enthusiastic until I die. A soldier should die on the battlefield. Wow. He guaranteed devotees that their sacrifices would not go in vain. You're tolerating so many insults, so much botheration, so many inconveniences, personal discomfort, everything sacrificed, money. but it will not go in vain. Rest assured, it will not go in vain. Krishna will reward you sufficiently. Go on executing Krishna consciousness. They would attain Krishna's ultimate blessing and entrance into his abode. We can just imagine how merciful Krishna is to those who engage in his service, risking everything for him. Therefore, it is certain that such persons must reach the supreme planet after leaving the body. Aggressive 13 aggressive challenging moment. Jagannath Chandra Prabhu, are you there? Haribol? No, he's not there still. Maybe he's in office. Declaring that aggression for the cause of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is pure. Srila Prabhupada identified himself as aggressive and exhorted his disciples also to be aggressive. I myself very aggressive in coming to your country. No one invited me. Even you boys and girls did not invite me. But I came and I preached aggressively. And therefore you are now my disciples. So now you know well you have to now you know well you have to approach the men and women of your country, and it may appear that superficially that you have to disturb them. They are doing their business and peacefully, and you come and disturb them. Please take this Krishna consciousness moment. One thing I want to just tell you here. See, now Prabhupada is writing. So now you know very well you have to approach and the men and women of your country. It may appear that superficially that you have to disturb them. They are doing their business when you come to disturb them. Even nowadays, many devotees have this one. Many devotees think we should not disturb people. Why are you creating disturbance? Like, for example, somebody is doing bhajan clubbing and then he's singing Hara Hara Mahadev, he's singing Om Namah Shivaya, he's singing the recent Arjit song, Arjit Singh bhajan. Some devotee told me, why are you disturbing Prabhu? They are doing so peacefully their bhajan. He is exalted person. So many people are following on Instagram. He's a very good Kirtaniya. He is having so many followers. When he comes to the temple, so many people come. It is like flocking together. Not even in your lecture, 2 3 people attend. You are there 20 years, but nobody is attending your lecture. But just you see this guy, he's coming from London. He's having nice beard without any tilak. He's having karmi clothes, no problem. Why are you disturbing unnecessarily, telling that this is all, this? He is see what kind of preaching. Why are you disturbing devotees by telling that this is not good, that is not good? So that is going on nowadays. Even among devotees, they think that we should not disturb them. Even one temple in the Vyasasan, sitting in the Vyasasan, one brahmachari told, why we have to do book distribution? There is no need to do book distribution. Just we will sit in the temple and do whatever we want to do, whatever is required to be done. And people, if they want, they will come and take the books. Why we have to go and disturb them unnecessarily? They are doing something. Why we have to disturb them? And if you see that certain devotees are saying that they are getting disturbed by the way you are selling, because they are doing their business peacefully, chanting, peacefully reading, and then you go and disturb them, that means they are not in right track. This is what is good going on. So Prabhupada said you have to disturb them. Unless and until you disturb them, how will you tell them what is right? They may say, nowadays it is becoming more. Not only disturbance, they will they will create a fear among the person who is telling that you are offending the devotee, Prabhu. You are creating offense. You are offending him. It's a Vaishnava aparadh. Although he is doing aparadh to the holy name, he is doing aparadh to Prabhupada, aparadh to ISKCON, aparadh to the whole acharyas, that is not seen. But you are an insignificant person because you are not. Who will tell all those things? Only those people who are not famous, only they will point out. Those who are famous, they don't have time and all these things. Those who are famous, those who are doing podcasts on YouTube, they are busy in giving lectures, giving reels. They don't have time to speak about all these things because they are in their own world. Some devotees, they may take up all these things, they may point out, but they're getting disturbed. Previously, outsiders used to get disturbed. Now devotees are getting disturbed. So this is the slackening of Krishna. This is called slackening of Krishna consciousness. The fire of Krishna consciousness, when it is reduced, people get disturbed. And as per my experience and being in Krishna consciousness for so many years, I think that those who are getting disturbed, let them hear Prabhupada's lectures again and again and again and again and again. Prabhupada will disturb every time and now. And they may read fifth canto of Bhagavatam, very heavy. Seventh canto of Bhagavatam, very heavy. First canto, very heavy. Then all disturbance ki vaat lag jayegi. Every disturbance will get out of this their idiot brain. So this is the thing. So continuing to read. This Krishna consciousness movement is a challenge to all the fools and rascals. See, Prabhupada is saying very clearly, it's a challenge to fools and rascals. So those who have taken this movement very seriously should be sober and understanding. At least you must expose. See, you should be sober. How it is possible to be sober at the same time expose all these rascals? How is that possible? So those who are taken this, what is that? What is Prabhupada saying? So those who have taken this movement very seriously should be very sober and understand. At least you must expose all these rascals. In order to expose, you need to have some vigor and vitality. You can't just like that expose. So you have to be sober. That means those who are exposing doesn't mean that they are sober, and those who are sober doesn't mean that they can expose. So, but what we have to do is that first we have to develop that sobriety within us and understand that we must expose those rascals in that way. That will be very much appreciated by Krishna. And Tamal Krishna Goswami said to Srila Prabhupada, you have come as an aggressor. Actually, I think we are the most dangerous revolutionaries in the whole world. Now we are not. We are very complacent. We want to be very nice to the people. Srila Prabhupada acknowledged his statement and qualified it by saying, to the Rakshasas. A Rakshasa literally means a cannibal. And as predicted in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 12, Chapter 1, Text 40, in Kali Yuga, the leaders of the society will devour the citizens. Bhakshante Rajina. That's what Bhakshante. Literally eat. This is what is called. The Krishna consciousness movement is meant to aggressively oppose all modern Rakshasas. Very beautiful problem. And thus save the whole world from rogues and demons. All slang words are there in Prabhupada's books. Huh? Wow. Okay. Saving the world from rogues and demons. At the present moment, practically the entire world is afraid of rogues and non-devotees. Therefore, this Krishna consciousness movement is started to save the world from irreligious principles. Everyone should cooperate with this movement and in order to bring about actual peace and happiness in the world. So much rascaldom is going on all over the world. And our Krishna conscious movement, wants to stop all this nonsense and save humanity from going down to animal kingdom. The society remains in darkness, misled by blind men. We want to save human society from this catastrophe. This is our noble mission. So Prabhupada is writing, the society remains in darkness, misled by blind men. Who are the blind men? The cinema stars, the cricket stars, the politicians, the prime minister, the president, the political parties, the corporates, the leftists, right wing, left wing, the George Soros movement outside India, within India, everybody, the cinema, Hollywood, Tollywood, Bollywood, all these are nothing but rascals, blind men. Everybody whoever is an influencer, YouTube influencer, life coach, monks, so-called monks, so-called swamis, all the apasampradayas, everybody mm, is in darkness, and they are blind men. They are misleading the human society. Demons have made a world a catastrophe. Srila Prabhupada offered the only hope for rectification. The presidency, the presidents and chief executives in this age of Kali are simply tax collectors. You see the budget, this time the budget, 2026, it's a havoc for Brahmins, Kshatriyas, and those who are in the upper class. It's a great havoc. It's UGC Act, it's a havoc for those people who are in those communities. You see, not only just by their budgets, so much they have put for Waqf board in this budget, who do not care whether religious principles are observed. Recently, I heard there is a 30-month pregnancy period has increased for, I don't know, Supreme Court has given an order for abortion. Indeed, the see, Prabhupada is continuing. Indeed, the chief executives of the present day introduce all kinds of sinful activity. Wow. Especially illicit sex, intoxication, animal killing, and gambling. See, most of the Hindu organizations are very much against Modi government and Amit Shah. Why? Because Amit Shah and Modi government have promised when they came in 2024 that they will abolish cow killing, but they are not done yet, and they don't want to do it because of the foreign exchange. So they are very much against. And these Modi government, whoever is following the Modi media, they are opposing those people, telling them as Congresswadis and all these things. So this is what is going on all over the world. They don't want to. They are very much for the sinful activities. And some of the companies are Muslim companies, those who are doing these cow slaughters, and some are Hindu companies. But everything comes to their pocket, comes to the pocket of politicians. If you do scam in one opposite party, you can just join BJP. You become sane. You become very good person. You have so much of murders, rapes, and all those things. Just join BJP. You are very good, and you win the elections. And that's all. They loot. They loot the budget like anything. So that is what is going on. Continuing, these sinful activities are now very prominently manifested in India. Bah. Although 100 years ago, these 4 principles of sinful life were strictly prohibited in families of India, they have now been introduced. Every Indian family, you see, what is that? Priyanka Chopra's mother is very proud that his daughter is now famous all over the world. You see, what is that she is doing? And showing the skin exhibition. But they are very happy. Their family are very happy. The Chopras, the Sharmas, all the Sharmas are there in the Bollywood now. So they are all opening their bodies openly, and they're very proud of their daughters and sons. Eating beef, pork, everything they are eating. Nowadays, all big families. Gujaratis are eating beef in United States. Jains are eating beef. They are having abortions everywhere, left, right, center. And now, although 100 years ago, these 4 principles of sinful life were strictly prohibited in families of India, they have now been introduced in every Indian family. Therefore, they cannot follow religious principles. I am distributing books in the United States. It's a disgrace for Indians. To be in United States is a disgrace for Indians. You can see mother and father are properly dressed, and the girls are dressed as much less as possible, showing the thighs, having their belly button, what is that, put with this something. They're showing their sleeveless. They're having their everything. They're all coming from Brahmin, because only intelligent people came from India. South Indian Brahmanas, South Indian Vaishnavas, they came to United States. So this is what is going on. So in contrast to the principles of the kings of the old, the modern state is concerned only with propaganda for levying taxes, and is no longer responsible for spiritual welfare of the citizens. The state is now callous to religious principles. Srimad Bhagavatam predicts that in Kali Yuga the government will be entrusted with Dasyu Dharma, which means the occupational duties of rogues and thieves. I should not say this sitting in United States, but the whole Jeffrey Epstein files is full of this. Modern heads of state are rogues and thieves who plunder the citizens instead of giving them protection. Rogues and thieves plunder without regard for law. But in this age of Kali, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, the lawmakers themselves plunder the citizens. Wow! Lawmakers themselves plunder the citizens. Nirmala Sitaraman, she is the lawmaker and she is the plunderer of the citizens. Modi is the lawmaker. Modi is the plunderer of the citizen. The next prediction to be fulfilled, which is already coming to pass, is that because of the sinful activities, the citizens and the government, rain will become increasingly scarce. Gradually, there will be complete drought and no production of fruits, grains. People will be reduced to eating flesh and seeds, and many good, spiritually inclined people have to forsake their homes because they will be too harassed by drought, taxation, and famine. The Krishna consciousness movement is the only hope to save the world from such devastation. Only the Krishna consciousness movement can deliver to innocent people the real purpose of human life and thus save them from further suffering at the hands of demons. The human form is an opportunity to take shelter of the bona fide spiritual master and through him, the Supreme Lord. This Krishna consciousness movement has been started to give this opportunity to all the members of the human society who are misled by foolish leaders. Whoever is leader, we should understand they are all fools unless they are Krishna conscious. All cinema actors, cricket stars, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, Ravi Shastri, all these are foolish. Number one, foolish people. Actually, if we see him, we should throw cow dung on their face. Actually, if I would have seen, definitely. Never I saw them till now, but definitely I will do that. And then I will go to jail maybe. In the present age, Kali Yuga, the number of such shameless men who are agnostics, disbelieving in the existence of God, has increased. Trying to defy the authority of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so called scientists, philosophers, and politicians manufacture plans and schemes for the destruction of the world. Whole of Islam is that. They cannot do anything good for the world, and unfortunately, because of Kali Yuga, they have plunged the affairs of the world into mismanagement. Thus, there is a great need for Krishna consciousness movement for the benefit of the innocent people who are being carried away by the propaganda of such demons. If the present status quo is allowed to continue, see, status quo is allowed to continue, people will certainly suffer more and more under the leadership of these demonic agnostics. Actually, we should not coexist with the present society, present world order. That should be the goal of devotees. We should not at all coexist. But unfortunately, Islam is there saying that we don't coexist with the world. And our devotees are saying, we want to coexist with you. We want to gel with you. I want to be with you. So that we can preach. But generally, we become themselves. Instead of preaching them, we are taking up modern ideas and becoming more and more plunged into the demonic agnosticism. Krishna appears in this world for two purposes. Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya chatuskrata. To protect the innocent religious devotees of the Lord and to annihilate all the uneducated, uncultured asuras who unnecessarily bark like dogs and fight among themselves for political power. All these political parties are simply barking dogs just for political power. It is said, Kali Kale Nam Rupe Krishna Avatar. The Hare Krishna movement is also an incarnation of Krishna in the form of holy name. Wow, this is an incarnation. Every one of us who is actually afraid of the Asuric rulers and politicians must welcome this incarnation of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then we will surely be protected from the harassment of the Asuric rulers. At the present moment, these rulers are so powerful that by hook or by crook, they will capture the highest posts in government and harass countless numbers of people on the plea of national security or some emergency. Wow. Prabhupada is writing what is happening now. Then again, one asura defeats another asura, but the public continues to suffer, you see. Therefore, the entire world is in a precarious condition. And the only hope is this Krishna consciousness movement. Lord Nrsimhadev appeared when Prahlad was excessively harassed by his Asuric father. Because of such Asuric fathers, that is, the ruling politicians, it is very difficult to press forward the Hare Krishna movement. But because Krishna has now appeared in his holy name, through this movement, we can hope that these Asuric fathers will be annihilated and the kingdom of God established by all over the world. The entire world is now full of many asuras in the guise of gurus. See, in the guise of gurus, sadhus, yogis, and incarnations, they are misleading the general public away from Krishna consciousness, which can offer true benefit to human society. So there are so many gurus. This Ravi Shankar, Ravi Kankar, Jaggi Vasudev, all these are pakka bogus rascals. Premananda, all these are bogus rascals. That's all. There is no other way. Rajneesh, previously there was Mahesh Yogi, all these Sai Baba, that Baba, this Baba, everybody. Mata Amritanandamayi, Sahaj Yoga, Gayatri Parivar, Ramakrishna Mission, Vivekananda, all these, Paramamsa Yogananda, all these are pakka bogus rascals. Such aggressive and challenging words were not meant simply to create rumpus. See, Maharaj is now like qualifying whatever he is writing. Srila Prabhupada had an action plan of action, as communicated in 1971 letter by Shyamasundar Das, his secretary at the time, to other leaders. He is becoming increasingly insistent that our movement is the only answer to the world dilemma, as he sees that no one else, so-called philosophers, scientists, scholars, can provide any sound philosophy. He keeps saying over and over, you must become convinced of this. You must be able to defeat any philosophy. If someone approaches, ask him, what is your philosophy? And then defeat him. We are now not, presently we are not defeating anybody. If he has no philosophy, then what is the use of his knowledge? And if someone speaks one thing nonsense and his whole philosophy is nonsense, so you must be very careful. His divine grace says that we are kings in the most exalted position, that we should never feel ourselves poor in anyone's presence. If you are a king and want to rule like a king, you must act like a king. I act like a king because no one can defeat me. Similarly, you must become convinced and fixed in this perfect philosophy. Although he says we must approach everyone with very humble attitude. The devotee is very concerned with the world's fallen situation and desires with all his strength to rectify it by Krishna consciousness. Krishna comes to save the world. I am here, Krishna's representative. You are also Krishna's representative. Just help me. Krishna has come again to save the world. The point is, to be a devotee of Krishna is very exalted position, the most exalted position. So we must begin now, armed with Krishna's philosophy, to take a more active part in world affairs. The following is the preface of our latest conversation. Krishna came to kill the miscreants. We are Krishna's representatives. We must now begin to interfere because nothing is going right in world affairs. There is no philosophy to guide men. We will act just like Marx. He did not fight himself. He created Lenin to fight. Just see what I have done in 5 years. Now we are 500 and we have 50 years each. Think what we can do. Wow. If good arguments fail, we should begin to fight to enter politics. Wow. So just approach the leaders very seriously. You must all become so dedicated, just like I am. We are Krishna's party. Now we see things are going wrong. We must interfere. First of all, we use our philosophy, learn it thoroughly, challenge any philosophy, meet any leader and challenge him, defeat his philosophy. Challenge, challenge, challenge. Every time Prabhupada is saying about challenge. Sometimes Vaishnavas are criticized for doing nothing. That's why we started midday meals, so that people will think that we are doing something. But now, Prabhupada is what he's saying. Sometimes Vaishnavas are criticized for doing nothing. But Arjuna and Hanuman were fighting Vaishnavas. When the High Court judges wear tilak, then we are successful, my Guru Maharaj said. Book distribution is at the forefront of the plan to save the world. We have got our books now. print and distribute and preach and bring the sunlight and cockroaches will go away. Wow. They cannot do any more any infection. In the sunlight, there are no insects, no cockroaches. In the darkness, they are glowworms. The only hope, the only hope, the only hope is that you distribute books as much as possible. Whole Europe, whole America. Hare Krishna. So we'll stop here and meet tomorrow at this time. If devotees have anything to ask, anything to clarify, so you can ask. Otherwise, we will stop here and meet tomorrow at the same time, 7:15. Anybody has anything to ask? Okay. So we'll stop here and meet tomorrow and continue from killing the demonic mentality. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sandebhyev cha padidanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Sorry, what is the name?
Hare
Yashovardhan ji.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, I have put the link in the chat board. Maybe you
I
will
have
see.
already ordered, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So nice of you. Thank you very much. Please cooperate with
Thank you,
us
Prabhuji.
and please
Yes,
come
Prabhuji.
daily to attend this session
Yes,
as far as
Prabhuji, I will
possible
try
from
my
your side.
best to come and attend the
Yes.
reading session
Thank you,
daily.
Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna,
Prabhu. Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna.
Sarvapram.
Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Ki
Lord Bhakti
Jai.
Kasam Maharaj ki jai. And the mood and mission of Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.